I want to say thank you to our celebrity guests for being here this week.
Love you. Love you guys.
It's funny for me because I feel like a dad who's watched his little guy kind of grow up and then become a heartthrob. It's pretty funny. All of the celebrities that are here with us this week, to me, represent something different. And I wanted to share with all of you, in my mind, why I chose to have the individuals that are up here tonight at our 20th program. Symone is a person who has been through a lot professionally, personally. She's a very wise person for her age. What better role model to have at this program than her? She has lived a life in the spotlight. She has handled it with grace. She's extremely intelligent, compassionate. She's a pro. And when you look at the examples that I want to have at this program for the next generation of performer, to me, when I knew that you were available to be here, I was really stoked. And I thought, wow, really? And I was really, truly honored to have you here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
When it comes to Hayden Byerly, he is an example of someone who was a part of the Premier family for many, many years, and getting to know his family. And we really started to coin the term Premier family because of Hayden and Michelle. That really became a term, and it became language, and then it became a belief, and then it became a motivation. So when you put all those things together, it is an unstoppable force. And when you take all of those pillars and you bring them around the world and you bring people together under a common belief, this is what you see in the room. Hayden is a great representation of that. I'm extraordinarily proud to be a part of his journey and to call him a friend. Thank you, Hayden. Lauren came to the program, I think, in 2014 for the first time as a celebrity. She is a person who is really funny, very caring, very giving, no ego. So to me, she represents hungry and humble. I always tell the staff, hungry and humble, that no matter how successful you are in the world, doesn't matter what you've achieved. You have to go zero ego, you've got to stay hungry, you've got to stay humble. Anyone is capable of achieving a goal if they set their mind to it. But to maintain that level of excellence, you have to stay hungry and humble. Thank you, Lauren. Miranda is somebody that I think has classic comedy chops. What I mean by that is she is an example of someone, to me, of like an older generation Carol Burnett, variety comedy, somebody who understands how to very quickly put together something in her mind that's very funny. When I sit with her at the last couple of programs that she's been to, we sit in a boardroom when we talk about the award show, and we bounce off ideas. It's a lot like Saturday Night Live, where they sit there, they talk about ideas, they create things in the moment. When we came up here tonight, nothing was scripted. We talked about ideas, and we came on stage to entertain you. And what you saw tonight is an example of that experience and that talent. And Miranda, to me, is a great representation of that classic comedy style that all of our parents grew up on and what sitcom is based on today, the legends of comedy. People that really understood how to put together entertainment for people in a small little TV. Now, full circle, you have Raven, who was a part of that generation, part of the network television generation. And she is now in the next level. She's actually sustained her career for so many years through all of that. Then you've got Hayden, who's been on a show for 5 years. And then you've got Lauren, who's been on a show for several years and doing all these things. And then back to Miranda, who actually has been able to break out. She was amazing on Bunk'd. She brought a level of comedy that was awesome. So Miranda, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to give the celebrities a chance to reflect on their experience this week and share advice for all of you. Raven, I'd like you to go first.
Okay. A lot of you guys heard what I said before, professionalism. I want to be a little bit more surface this time. Always find your light. Okay? But no, I'm really serious. I take pictures with a lot of you, and you hide your face, you do this, you let your shyness take you. You have to find your light. The great divas and divers? Like what would
Sure.
Devos.
A Devo. Thank you very much. Oh, I like that one.
Like whip it?
Whip it good.
You have to find your light. You have to command the stage. There were a lot of people that came up and gave me their one-liners. And yes, thank you so much for showing your excitement for me. But this is a process to where you need to shine. You need to take over because there's a light inside of you that he is crafting, that all of your tutors are crafting. And when you stand next to people that have worked hard to buff and shine their light, we see it. So we want you to shine just as bright. Literally and internally. So make sure that when you're called upon, you put that shyness aside, you stand tall, stand in who you are, and shine bright. Even if you forget your line, even if you make the wrong move, as long as you are who you are and proud to be who you are and know what you're doing, you'll be fine.
I'm not sure what this hype thing is all about, but I'll learn it someday. You get to know that you're a certain age when you have people around you exchanging a word that you have no idea what it means. Hype? Yeah, boy! Hayden Byerly.
You know, I have traveled a lot with Michael. I've spent a lot of time here. It's been almost a decade since I was here. And I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of families. I've seen a lot of talent. And the number one thing that I love that Michael says, and you'll all recognize it when I do, he says that there are 3 pillars that he looks for, and that he looked for and found in all of you. Family, faith, and education. All of you have that. All of you have those pillars in your life solid, strong, and sturdy. You rock that. As a family, as individuals, you are killing it. You're here in Orlando, Florida, at the Swan and Dolphin Resort, at Premiere. You guys made it. You've done incredible work. You have outshined us in a lot of ways. And like Raven said, you really do have to find that. And you gotta make sure that you make it look as beautiful as possible. And let people see you and see it, because you deserve to be seen. Just don't block our light.
Never.
But thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here and for being so incredible and putting so much work and time and effort. It's a lot. And I remember being here when I was 9 and barely understanding what was happening and going on, and I just loved it. So
Now you have girls screaming for you.
I hope you all just loved it.
Thank you, Hayden. Lauren Taylor.
Thank you. I love you too. No, I'd just like to say a quick word for anybody who didn't receive an award tonight. First and foremost, you freaking made it here to like the top, what, like 500 out of the entire world? Like, that's kind of a big freaking deal. And The other thing is, throughout this industry, you will hear a lot of no's. All of us can attest to it. You'll hear a lot of negative things, and you'll hear a lot of no's. But the biggest thing is to keep persevering, because I mean, has anybody not heard a no in our industry, or like a million? Exactly.
I've heard a lot.
You just have to believe in yourself and persevere and get through it, and something will click. I promise you, you're here, you have the talent, so just run with it, okay?
Thank you, Lauren. Miranda.
I love you. Thank you guys. Something from this week that I saw in a lot of you, and something that it took me a long time to find in myself, was this confidence to make choices. Because it's a scary thing to go in front of somebody and make your own choice and stick to it and be dedicated to it and own it. And I saw some of you do that, and something as simple as when we were doing the meet and greets and being like, what pose do you want? And when somebody knew what pose they wanted, it was such a surprise and such a nice relief. And that's something to own. That's something to take with you, and to know that it's okay to make your own choices, stand by those choices, not only in acting, or modeling, or whatever it is, in life. Make your choices, stick with them, and be proud of them. Because there is something about having that choice and being unique and standing out that is the best. And that's something I touched on earlier in the week. But those choices are something that can make or break you. And they are worth taking. It's a chance worth taking. Make those choices and go for it. Because as long as you're confident in it and you love the choice you're making, who cares what anybody else thinks? It's about you at this point. When you're doing this, you have to do it for you. You have to do it because you love it. It's hard. All of us will say it's hard. And because of those choices, we've all heard no, and we've all heard yes. You have to take the risk. And so take those risks. Be supportive of one another and your family and your friends and everything. But most of all, my biggest thing to you guys is take those risks and make your choices.
Can I just say one more thing? So my dad talked to me a lot about that, and he said that a career is like this, right? A career is a wave. And if you're a surfer, you just wait. And sometimes you gotta ride that wave all the way through, and it's gonna break down. Yep. Don't think that the down wave is the bad time. That's the time to resurface your talent, go and study some more, and be ready for that next wave to come back up. I retired for 3 years after doing Broadway for 6 months. I went crazy, we're not gonna talk about it. But I went down, and I was just like chilling in my house. And for a little while, it took me a while to be like, did I make the right choice? Like, should I be back in the industry? Should I do it? And I said, no, let me take this time to take a break, because this industry is tough. You get your nose, and you need to make sure that your inner self is strong. So enjoy the wave process. When it's down, love it. When it's up, you better ride it.
Exactly.
But when it's down, just stay strong. That's the choice.
You learn a lot in those ups and downs.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank our celebrity guests at our premiere 20th program. Remember, everyone, if you believe in yourself, the world believes in you. Have a good night, everyone.